Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Maria Gonçalves podcast. I am your host, Maria Gonçalves, and today we have a returning guest, Jolanda, all the way from Netherlands. So, welcome, Jolanda.
Welcome and thank you that you gave me the opportunity again to come on this meeting. Yes, my name is Jolanda Geraerts. I'm from the Netherlands and I do a lot of trance, sitting in the power, but also giving courses, retreats, and all these kind of things. But working with spirit is one of my favorite things, and they mean a lot to me. They mean everything to me. And that's why I wanted to talk about the trance mediumship, because trance mediumship also has um, many ways of working with spirit. Like you have trance art, trance speaking, but also riding in trance and sitting in the power, or trance mediumship. You also can do it on the platform. You go just a little bit into the trance and you let spirit come so close to you that it feels like you become the person, and
Yes.
that's really nice. You feel the body, you feel the emotions, you feel the pain they had when they were still alive. And I really like that kind of working with spirit. Yeah, because you become them. Yeah,
I love it. I
yeah.
absolutely love it. And I am super excited about today's episode because you are going to take us through a meditation, correct?
Yes, I want to take you into the meditation, into a trance meditation. And it's something different than the normal meditation that most people know about, because the trance meditation is we connect with our friends in the spirit world and we welcome them and we
Yeah.
give them the opportunity to work with them. We ask what they need to work with us, and I know many people of us are not used to ask it, what our spirit friends need to work with us.
Yeah.
Um, but it is also, we give them the opportunity to say, okay, my friend, I'm here for you. So do whatever you want with me because I trust you and you know the best what I'm in need for. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's confidence, or sometimes you get an answer on a question, or just to sit into the silence and you
Yeah.
become one with them. So every time it will be different. It always will be different.
So,
Yeah.
do you recommend people do meditation once a week, once a month, once a day? Like, what do you recommend for those that want to develop that ability, that skill to meditate?
The more they can sit, the better. I sit every day for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And even though I do classes or my own home circle, I sit in the power. So for me, it's not only once a day, an hour, but I sit more than that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean people have to sit for an hour. If they sit for 20 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm already happy, because it's just make it your own, like we are um, taking a shower or whatever. It's normal for us.
Yeah.
But now, how nice would it be if people say, okay, I take a shower, afterwards I do my meditation, and then I'm going to have my breakfast or something else, or go to work.
Yeah.
But that it becomes your own moment of
Yeah.
being together with your best friends, because most of us, we want, how do you say it, we ask, or sometimes we say, why don't I hear the spirit world talk, or why can't I feel them, or well, I want to develop, but I'm not as good as, or I'm not as far as. Um, and I always ask, yeah, but how many times are you there for them? And then they look at you and say, what do you mean? How many times a week do you sit in silence to be with them, to talk with them? The same as in this life, when we are going to our friends and we want to meet our friends, we want to know our friends, we come together, have fun, have party. But when we say, okay, but our spirit friends, and you look like, yeah, but they are there. I know they are there, but you want to know them. You want to feel them. You want, yeah, to know everything about your best friend because they are your best friends. They are always there for you. So that's why it is important for me. So, as answer to your question, I would say sit as much as possible.
Hmm.
Start with 15 minutes a day. If you say, well, that's a little bit difficult because some people still have younger children or whatever, find a moment for yourself. If it's in the evening or in between, it doesn't matter as long as you take your time. It's
Yeah.
taking your time for yourself. So it also says how important do you find yourself? Do
That
you
is,
think you have to always be there for someone else? Or do you say, okay, these 15 minutes are just for me,
yeah,
just for myself?
I agree with you. I know for myself, because I used to meditate in the evening, and then I find you get interrupted. Like life happens, the dogs, the kids, the family. And now what I have done is I meditate first thing in the morning, like
Hmm.
5:30,
Yeah,
6 o'clock in the morning. And I have trained myself over time because this does take time. And then it depends what your intention is, right? And I've
yeah,
trained myself to sit in the silence for an hour. And because it's before the dogs wake up, before the house wakes up.
yeah, yeah,
Because once the host wakes up, literally, it's game over. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna be constantly interrupted. So usually it's like 5:30 or 6 in the morning. I wake up, get my cup of coffee or glass of water, and then I sit down in the same spot every day to build that energy. And then I
yeah.
find the days if I happen to sleep in, because maybe, life happens and I went to bed really late. I miss that. I find I'm off because I didn't sit for spirit for an hour that day. Like, do you find that with yourself?
Yeah, because it's a part of it, it's becoming a part of your normal life. So when you won't sit in the silence or you won't take that time for yourself, it's you miss that moment.
Yes.
And for me, it's also when I sit in the silence, and I don't know if it's the same with you, you feel much stronger. You have your overview is through the day, it's much bigger.
Yes.
Do
I
you
agree.
understand?
I'm calm.
Like a helicopter view or something like that. Normally you get a little bit hectic or panic, but then you feel, okay, it's fine. Some things happen and that's fine because you feel the silence inside of you. And sometimes it doesn't matter anymore
Yeah.
because you know yourself more and more. You learn more about yourself. You become more,
Yeah.
yeah, who you should be.
And
Mm.
you build that strong connection with your spirit team.
Yeah.
Right, on a
And
daily
that's,
basis, and it's not like, because I know in the beginning it would be more, and I don't know if people are listening, if you remember in the earlier days of your mediumship, be like, "Oh, I gotta do a reading. I'm gonna sit in the power now." It's like, I
yeah,
remember doing that because it's like, "Spirit, you gotta help me now." But over the years, you learn, don't do that. Do it regularly. That way you could do a reading throughout the day and you're not going into that panic of, oh no, I didn't sit in the power long enough, and that's why my reading didn't work. Because I remember doing that in the beginning of my mediumship because I didn't really understand what sitting in the power was, the
hmm,
meditation, like I really didn't get it. And then over time, it's like, oh wait, like you say, it's your spirit friends. Like, what do you do with the friends that you see every day. You talk to them, you check in on them, you listen to them. So it's the same
Yeah,
thing as meditation. You connect with your spirit team and you're quiet to receive, to listen.
yeah.
You're building
And
that relationship.
sometimes people say when we walk in the forest, I also am in silence. And correct, you are walking in the silence, but it's different than when you sit in the silence, because when you sit, you can totally relax. And when you walk, your physical body is still moving, so your brain is still taking the control, even though
Yeah,
sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm already here, because
yeah,
you weren't aware of that moment. But still, it's a little bit different than when you just sit in your own space, in your own area. Yeah,
absolutely. And then that you're talking about walking in the forest, that would be a mindful walking meditation, which is completely different from
yeah,
sitting and surrendering and blending with spirit and sitting in the power. So they
yeah,
each have two completely different purposes, both calming, but two different intentions of why we do those.
yeah. And
Yeah.
even though when you walk in the forest, sometimes it just to try, sit against a tree and you become one with the tree. You feel the energy with you coming together as one, and it really feels strong. And
Yeah.
sometimes you see a lot of colors when you are sitting against the tree. So that's also a good practice if you have the possibilities to go to a forest and walk or sit over there. It's
I think
really
that's a great
nice.
idea. Watch out for the
Yeah.
coyotes in my neighborhood, but other than that, go for it.
Oh, we only have here the rabbits and a deer or something.
We got lots of coyotes here, so I don't know about that. But for everybody else, if you got no coyotes, go for it.
Maybe they come and sit next to you because they feel the energy. You never know.
You never know. You never know what happens. And as we're talking about meditation, before we go into the meditation, I also just want to quickly mention for anybody that is interested in meditation, just reach out to Yolanda for her upcoming meditation classes. So, and I will have
Yes.
her email at the end of this podcast and YouTube. And then what do you suggest? So before we start to go into the meditation, how long should people set aside? So please do not do this if you are driving. Like, be
No.
sitting down in your house or somewhere
Yes.
where what for the next 20 minutes you would say?
Yes. About 20 minutes just to sit in a place where um, you can sit just in a chair or something or on a couch, but just feel comfortable and just relax without any expectations. And
Yeah.
I will, in the beginning, I will do my prayer. And if you would like to listen to me, that's fine. If you think, well, Yolanda, it's a little bit difficult to understand what you're saying, that's fine. With me, always everything is fine for me because the most important thing is that you go with the energy. Then, after my prayer is finished, you will hear the silence. And then, when it's time, I will bring you back and I will ask you just to slowly breathe in and out, to move your hand and feet, and open your eyes when you are ready for it. And I want to ask you really to open your eyes only when it feels okay for you, because sometimes when we are in a deep state of trance and we come up too quick, then it sometimes it feels like we are getting dizzy,
Hmm.
like when you are in a deep sleep and someone is standing next to you and say, wake up, and all of a sudden you go like this and you feel uncomfortable, you feel sick or headache. And it's the same when you are in a deep trance. Take your time to come back. And
Oh,
even though sometimes it feels for us like, oh, I'm not in a deep trance because I still hear things and all the noises and all that kind of things, the moment you come back from your trance state, you feel or are aware of, I was a little bit deeper than I expected. So just go into the silence, and whatever will happen, it's fine, it's okay. And even though sometimes we hear noises like cars or planes or washing machines or whatever, or the neighbors who have a lot of noise with music, use that kind of noise to go deeper into the silence instead of ignoring or getting angry because the neighbor or a plane or something else is making a lot of noise. So use it to go more into the silence. See
So
it from a positive way instead of the negative way, because everything, all the negative thoughts that we give attention will grow, and we don't
that,
want it.
yes.
Yeah.
So for those listening to the podcast right now, if you are driving or operating machinery or doing something, just pause this video, pause this podcast until you can find a space where you can sit in a chair quietly, uninterrupted, and then listen to it and make sure to set aside about 20 minutes of time just for you. So I do want to put that disclaimer out there. So do not be driving and try to do this at the same time. Don't do it. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
and now over to you.
Yeah. Okay, so I want everybody to just take your time and sit in the silence, close your eyes, and be aware of the voices or the sounds around you. And I ask you slowly to breathe in and out. The power of love is the moment that we become one with the child inside of us, the inner child who whispers soft and tender, the love of words, but also she will know who you are, your needs, your feelings, and listening to the words that your soul is whispering. You become one. You become one, and soft and slowly you go into the silence within. The path we walk is the path of truth, and every step you make give you the strength, like Mother Nature, who shows you the beauty of life. And even though all the storms or rains, she knows and recognizes the silence and the beauty of life, like the big tree who knows every season. And she also knows that every season has a story of her life, a new beginning, a new part of her life. like the beautiful blossoms. And the moment we watch to this beautiful blossom, we realize that every end has a new beginning, like your life. Every storm will find her peace and calm. It's our path of life to make the most beautiful stories of your life. You have to take the first step. And even though the difficulty of life to be aware that there is also positivities of life that makes you stronger, so you can believe in who you are, even though the words of humankind that gives you the doubt or pain or the emotions, just to look at from the other side of life, you get the feeling you are growing stronger than ever before. Divine and infinite spirits, friends from the world we call unseen, we all are here together to become one, to listen and wonder which moment of life we get stronger and we believe in who we are. I'm asking you to take us by the hand, but also, my friend, what do you need? What do you need so you can come closer to us? And together we can walk the path of hope and knowledge. And knowing that every step we make, we go deeper into the silence of life. Every breath you take takes you to another place. Feel the silence inside of you. And when it's time to say goodbye and to come back to this room again, we thank our friends from the world we call unseen for the moment we've spent together, the moment that we became one and listened to each other, to our inner soul, and to the silence inside of us. And slowly I ask you to breathe in and out, to move your hand and feet, and to open your eyes when you are ready for it. And take your time.
That was beautiful. I feel like I could be there for another hour, maybe two. It was so nice and
Mm,
relaxing. Thank you, Lon.
thank you.
That was
Thank you.
beautiful. And I really do hope our listeners or viewers enjoyed that meditation and then just, save it and do it once a day. And for
Hmm.
those of you that want to reach out to Yolanda, because next year she will be starting a meditation classes, so just reach out to her for more information and to register. Is there anything else you want to say before we finish?
Yeah, when we do the meditation, pick your own music. Some people like raindrops, or some like just sit in the silence. Pick your own kind of music. That's the most important thing. And try to go, when I say go into the silence, I mean go to the happy place inside of us. The feeling when we are seeing our grandchildren, or um, your own children, or the moment you are very happy, you get a special kind of feeling in your body. So try to focus every time your mind plops up. Go back to that place, go back to that moment into the silence, and it will keep your mind away from taking control. So
Beautiful.
maybe a good exercise to when it isn't
Oh,
always as happy to sit in the silence. Yeah.
I love my mind just went blank. I just went
Ah,
blank and it feels like we've only been meditating like for 2, 3 minutes. And I know it was a lot longer.
yeah.
Said it, it's
Good.
longer.
Yeah.
But having the experience because of where I went with spirit, it just feels like I've been gone for 2 minutes.
Yeah. And we
Um,
said, I believe, for 18 minutes, 18 or 19 minutes, like that. Yeah.
oh
So
wow.
time flies when you're having fun, they always say. Yeah.
It does, it does, it does. So I just want to say thank you so much for being with us. And I hope you come back again very soon. And
Yeah.
thank you to everybody. Yes. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
So thank you. Bye bye. Bye.